आप सारे अच्छे होंगे. And today we've got Huncho.Nacho. Oh my God, the big guns and Vish Yadav on board. We're going to talk about love today, the second part of love, Lovedays, and movie. Oh my God, I'm so delighted to have you guys on board. This is really big. I'm so impressed by you guys. So obviously, as you guys have seen the first episode, we talked about character development, love life, the women perspective. Today, we're going to talk about character development, love life, breakups, and all of that bullshit with the guy perspective. So let's get the ball rolling. Harsh Mali, over to you.
Yes, so let's begin with the first question of our panel. It's how would us, like men, will define love?
Yes. How would men define love?
Ancho.
Damn. Right out
Yeah,
the
that's
gate. That's a
damn.
big
That's like
one.
a deep. Yeah, that's a deep question.
I
Man, I'm just
know.
22. I don't know jack shit.
प्यार क्या है?
For
प्यार
me,
दोस्ती है.
प्यार चुतिया आपका है.
it's somewhere उसके बीच में lies the answer. I
Okay.
would say
Mhm.
because it's like if you feel something with someone, like there's a connection. You could say that he maybe it's love, but then you just have to like kind of explore where it's going. You can't. The love at first sight thing, मैं तो believe नहीं करता उसमें.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean you can't really be compatible with someone immediately.
Yeah.
You have to know them as a person to know how it's gonna go. What about you, Vish? What do you think?
Yes. What about Vish? What do you think?
I'm not sure that ज़्यादा. I guess I haven't been in like love in a long time. Like last time was many years ago, and I would say the feeling was just vibes, good, like two people just like connecting बहुत अच्छे से,
Mm-hmm.
where your partner, his cliche is your best friend,
Yeah,
True.
I mean they're cliches for a reason, right?
Yeah.
exactly. And that feeling, I guess I define it as that because then I haven't felt that way since. And if I were to look for something, I'd want to experience that again.
True.
Yeah, I agree with Vish. And just adding to like just one more point to it, it's like if you're with someone who can make a bad day slightly like less worse, and they can make even the smallest happy moment like exponentially better, I think that would be something I would say would be love or like compatibility.
True. So
And
what?
the only one cliche thing जो मुझे लगता है कि is very true is something which I remember Kanan Gill said in a pretentious movie review कि सच्चा प्यार बहुत लोगों को नहीं मिलता.
Right. There are compromises everywhere.
Yeah, it's rough out there.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna tell people कि personally मत लेना. It's never about you not being it. You're always that person. You are always him, if I must say. And your time will come. I'm just gonna say that.
True.
And if you can always send someone Huncho's Bollywood playlist, and that's instant points. Just
Instant points.
exactly.
True. That's great. I mean, love over the years has changed a lot. Social media has changed a lot as well. So, moving on, the second question. What was your first experience of love? How you experienced love? Or I'd say, when was the first time when you were attracted to someone? Because for guys, it's like, yeah, ye bhi pasand hai, wo bhi pasand hai. But what was your first experience of, experiencing the serotonins and adrenalines running through your veins and all of that?
Man, wish you wanna take this.
I mean, like most people, school, right? Like
Yeah.
that's about it. So we went to an all boys school, and right next to
Yeah.
us was an
Same.
and right next to us was an all girls school.
Wow.
So it was, for most people we know, it would go back to like this situation of ours and for 10 years, right? First through 10th.
Right.
And
Yeah.
When you first hit your
I
puberty, your hormones start, hormones start to take over your body and all of that.
So yeah, I really like someone from the all girls school.
Mm-hmm.
You end up in like common circles, classes outside of school and all that, right?
Right.
So you meet a lot and you think, oh, maybe I like them, huh?
Right.
So yeah, that was the first time.
That was the first time. You experienced it in your tuition classes, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Right. Girl from the tuition classes, if you're listening to this, you missed out.
No, actually,
Do you guys had
we're
a
still
crush
good
on your
friends.
teachers?
What?
No, he
As
did not
I'm
go
from a
there.
boys' school as well.
Damn, he went there.
Of course, school teachers are the first crush.
Right. And so what was your experience of it?
My first one, I think I was in like, what do you call it? Like, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Like before school, like kindergarten, something like that.
Right.
There was this one girl who used to like share her crayons with me. I would be like, yo,
Oh my
sick.
God. This guy's cooking.
Because like my kindergarten was like a co-ed, right? So
Right.
there's 3 guys and girls in the same class. So this one girl used to always share her crayons with me, like always share her food with me. I was like, damn,
Shinchan was
she's
based
my
on
आज
best
लाल कलर
friend.
मांग रही है, कल दिल मांगेगी.
Shinchan was based on Anso.
Yeah.
Great. We've had similar stories as well. I mean, we've shared it on the first part itself, so there's no point going over them. So, I mean, love and first experiences have been common for the most part to a lot of people, right? मतलब सारे लोगों का एक generalized experience होता है. We start liking some XYZ girl or XYZ teacher when we're in school, and the experiences more or less have been similar. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, it's part of the human experience, right? Like,
Yeah, that's true. Moving on. I earlier mentioned internet culture has changed dating these days. I mean, obviously it has changed the world itself. Dating is just a mere part of it. How dating has changed for you when internet arrived? Has it been very impactful, or it's just internet? You just use it for that. I mean, I'm generalizing the question, or I'm oversimplifying it. Obviously, it has changed, but what has been the major difference you have experienced through internet in your dating life?
Okay, so for me, like the person I'm currently dating, I met through a dating app and we clicked. So in that way, it's kind of good because if you are using a good app, so I don't want to drop names because they should be paying us instead. But so this one app is pretty good. It's not like a conventional app. So if you use it enough, it'll show you people who have the similar likes and they interact in a very similar way to similar way to you. So I found
Bumble.
my current. Nah, it's not Bumble. It's not Bumble.
It's not Bumble. Okay.
It's not Bumble. It's not Tinder. I'll just say that.
Okay, Cupid. Okay, Cupid.
Huh?
Okay,
No, it's not
Cupid.
okay. Cupid.
अरे इतने वाइड गेसेस
Of
करके
course,
कोई
that's
मतलब
not.
नहीं है.
हाँ.
Keep your secrets.
नहीं,
They should
आजकल
be
तो
paying
बहुत आ
us,
गए हैं ना,
man.
बहुत सारे डेटिंग ऐप्स हैं. हाँ.
They
yeah,
should be paying you guys. So I don't want to name drop them.
Yeah, publicity हो जाएगी.
Facebook.
Bro,
Every app is dating app if you're Indian app.
Yeah.
Set by Harsh Mali.
Oh. And there's like so many apps just around the world. Like many countries also have like country specific apps. Like I found this out a few months ago that I was in Singapore, and Singapore has like 2 other like different apps that I'd never heard of before in US, here, anywhere, and that's what everyone uses there. So it's like really, like there's so many like options just nowadays. It's insane.
yeah.
It's
So my suggestion would be just stick to one which works for you and hopefully it will work out. I mean, it worked for me. So
Right. Huncho is a goldfish. Yeah, come on. Huncho is not a usual guy. He's in that 99 percentile of people. Come on.
Yeah.
What would be your opinion?
वो तो
Vish?
ऑडियंस फेस नहीं दिख पा रही, हमने देखा, हमको मालूम है कितना अच्छा है वो.
No, the truth. You're missing out
yeah,
here because we have seen his face. You aren't.
Huncho is taken. Sorry, girls.
yeah.
By us.
Oh no, but like on his live streams, like
No homo, only homie.
no. If you guys ever
Homosexuals.
check out the Huncho live streams, right? Like there's like just people of all genders and sexualities just thirsting, and this man cannot like handle any of it. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
like
I'm
personally
terrible at
go
it.
out of my way to harass him as well on those live streams.
Wow. That's weird.
That too without face reveal.
Yes, exactly. I mean,
That's like one of the good reasons why I haven't done it. I don't want that kind of attention on me.
if you
like, if I step out,
yeah, come on, why do you need to show your face? You're getting the job done either way. It doesn't really matter.
exactly. And
He's a humble
meme page,
man.
I'm not,
He's a humble man.
yeah, like me showing my
Marshmallow
face
of
does
meme
not
pages.
affect. Yeah, me showing my
Answers
face
the
does not
question.
affect
Are
the
mean
type of
pages
content
getting
I make.
women? Huncho is the live example.
Yeah, I mean,
Keeper.
when I started out like 5 years ago, मैं सुनता था लोगों को ये कहते हुए कि अरे मीम पेज वाले को तो लड़कियां मिलती है. तो like ये क्या बात कर रहा है, क्या झूठ बोल रहा है. Now I agree. They were right.
Great. Vish, what would be your opinion about it?
I'd say like I mentioned the Singapore thing, right? It depends. It's worked differently in different parts of the world for me.
Right.
Like in New York, it's been much better than it has been for me in India in terms of like experience, like in the past. I mean, it's hard to tell, like how it has affected like the world, because 5-6 years ago when it wasn't like that big, I was a complete dumbass with crippling social anxiety, right? So it's not like I was putting myself out there then, so I wouldn't know what it was like before apps became like a huge thing. And now that like I am putting myself out there, I've done both in present day, and I don't know, I've had like good experiences with both.
True.
Yeah, and with apps, the thing is, if you use the right one, you can find someone who's very compatible to you. So for me, I can say that's the case. I lucked out. Might not be the case.
Club jao, mast, thoda sa high ho, approach a girl, how are you, and all that. That works the best.
I don't think so. India में वो club वाला scene अभी तक आया है.
It is there.
है, but इतना major.
I have experienced
major level पे नहीं.
Come on, it's not like that.
No, it depends on which, like, just be in a metropolitan city, and that way can work for you.
Yeah, it works. It works. It's just the fact that you have to be ready enough. So I mean, because you have to be prepared for the worst. The girl can slap you, but she might love you as well. You never know. You just have to be, put yourself out there for that. I've done that. I have been slapped. I've been kicked out. I've done I don't know how many things. So I can say that from personal experience.
Right. Well, I wouldn't know here.
America is the place from where it, went out in the entire world. So I mean. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, pickup artistry, I don't think India में उसका इतना है scene. I wouldn't do it personally because that's not the way I am. So I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not mentally stable enough for that.
That would be an overstatement, I'd say. You have to be mentally unstable in order to do that, because it takes tons and tons of balls to do that. Seriously.
No, but that's what I mean though. Like what? like having like years of anxiety that I'm currently in the best place I am, and still the thought of like what you just mentioned, right? It sends like shivers down my spine, dude.
Seriously. But
नहीं
it's
क्योंकि
the excitement.
क्लब देखेगा तो एक्सट्रोवर्ट की जगह है ना, मतलब कि वहाँ
हाँ.
पे एक्सट्रोवर्ट लोग से मिलते हैं यूजुअली, तो
हाँ.
बाउंड रेंज हो गया ना कि वही मिलेगी, वैसा काइंड
That's
ऑफ।
right. It's your ball,
Right.
it's your court, it's your playing field, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
India mein to the scene is crazy. I mean, there are some girls who are amazing, like really amazing. The nines and tens. I mean, obviously, the nines and tens of my definition, I'd say. सही है यार बिल्कुल.
That's not the age, gentlemen. That's not the age.
अरे यार pedophile क्यों है?
No. Yeah, good disclaimer. Good disclaimer.
Stand-up comedian अंदर का जाग गया हर्ष मालिक के. Wow. Okay, moving on to the next question, Harsh Mali. क्या था सवाल?
Do you guys believe in soulmate, and how would you define crush?
Oh,
Wow.
I actually have a good thing for this. So
Yeah, go for
one
it.
of my favorite shows, The Good Place on Netflix, right,
Mhm.
has like mere hisab se the best definition of like what people say soulmate, right? Is like soulmates, they don't just exist. Like you make them in someone you find, right? And
Yeah.
it's like both parties like putting in effort and connecting, all that, and that's what makes that person into your soulmate. Like they probably weren't your soulmate when you met them.
True.
Right.
True.
But with given enough time, love and care, like y'all are soulmates now for each other, and I just think that's sweet.
True.
I agree, because like finding someone who's perfect for you in such a big
Like
world
right
is,
from the get-go is
yeah,
is impossible.
Yeah, it's
you're
close.
asking too much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like some level of effort has to go from your end as well, and some level of effort has to go from the other end as well. And I completely agree with Vish. You can't find a soulmate. It's just the vibe has to be right.
Right.
And if you do that, if both of you are into each other as much to put in that effort, you can find that soulmate you were looking for.
True. Apostrophe.
Mm-hmm. Which just goes to show, for people listening, check out The Good Place on Netflix. It's incredible. You'll like it.
Netflix, you are supposed to pay royalty for that. That was free.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course.
That was
Hashtag like give us money.
give us money.
Yeah.
We're money whores.
Hashtag give us money.
I mean, that's completely true, because there's this saying, Rome wasn't built on a day. I mean, built in a day.
Exactly.
Yes, that's very true. That's very true. Moving on to the next question. We
Oh
talked
wait,
वो तो
we
बोला ही
didn't
नहीं.
answer
एक
the
मिनट.
crush
How
part,
will
right?
you define the crush? हाँ.
Yes, how will you define crush? Fuck, we forgot the second question. True.
Right.
I don't know, man. Like the crush is such like an abstract concept. Like मतलब ऐसा
Yeah.
कुछ भी है. मतलब it has such a wide
Broad
definition.
spectrum है उसका बहुत.
Yeah, like
हाँ,
it can
मतलब
be
anything,
it can be
right?
like just pure physical attraction, or then maybe like you just really like the
The person,
personality of
right?
this person. You don't even like know how they look like, like
True.
both can be considered crushes, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
in the world of
Thank
social,
God. I thought Wish was gonna go. This is gonna be like, damn, this one 2D character I really fuck with. Thank God he didn't
Come
go
on,
there.
please,
Anyway.
come on now.
I am a sucker for anime girls.
Okay, see, he gets it. It's
I
okay.
do. Come on, Wish, you're not the only one.
Yeah, I think many people out there can agree. Anime is known for just making very attractive men and women. Like there's no boundaries. Like there's something in it for everyone.
स्कूल में जो सीनियर्स हुआ करते थे ना, हम लोग को बोला करते, हम लोग जब छोटे थे बोलते थे कि जिंदगी में एक चीज हमेशा याद रखना, हर रोज ब्रश, हर रोज क्रश.
Barney says this as well, right? Barney's instant from How You Met Your Mother. The newer one is also the better one. So
New is
I don't
always
know,
better.
like for you, how does that work? How does the frequency work? I don't think I've had like a frequency of having crushes.
I mean, see, same here. I wouldn't say I come from a very superficial standpoint where for me, crush is something which is just on the surface. Because
Hmm.
obviously you cannot assume how the person might be if you're seeing them for the first time. You cannot judge how their personality is if you're seeing them for the first time. It's just the looks to which you're attracted to.
Mm.
It's
Right.
it's the human behavior, right? But on social media, things are completely different. Obviously, you start talking to them if you find their photos attractive, but at the same time, there are n number of people who have talked to n number of people without seeing the single photo, but at the same time, they found soulmates in them or crushes in them or
Yeah.
whatever. So this generalization wouldn't be right, but ठीक है यार मतलब क्या ही बोलूं मैं. I'm so sorry for that. Harsh, what was the next question? क्या था तूने लिखा हुआ है ना?
रुको. How will you define cheating?
Yes. How will you define cheating? I mean,
Mm,
what is the definition of cheating? Because Will Smith को देख के हर किसी के मेरे ख्याल से values change हुए हैं, but sorry, Will Smith fans.
I wouldn't keep it like contained to the physical part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
If you're being very emotionally available to someone else outside of your partner, right? Even I would
Mhm.
consider that as cheating, where you're not cheating physically, but you're cheating on the
Best
emotional
friend.
commitment you've given to the partner. Yeah, the male best friend. Yeah.
Right.
It's always the
Okay.
best
Well,
friend.
It's always him.
I personally don't like think that as much though. For me, it's because like people can have friends, whatnot, but as I feel like if two people have agreed to be like exclusive in a
Mhm.
committed relationship, and then just being unfaithful in that would just be cheating. That's about it.
I mean, unfaithfulness is also subjective. I'd say some people would find watching porn. I mean, if your partner is watching porn, some people find it cheating.
Right.
If you're even talking to the other gender, that's cheating to some people as well. I mean, that's toxic, I'd say, or immature. But
Okay. Well, then I think be on the same page with
Yeah.
your partner at least. What would
Then
like what
I think that boundary has to
faithfulness
be,
means to them? Yeah.
that boundary
Yeah.
has to be communicated, and it's always have to gonna be either you agree or then you come to a compromise, right?
Uh-huh.
You agree to the boundary or then you find a way where to make it work
true,
according to both of your principles. It's not like one person's like principles are getting compromised in what you're doing.
true, true.
Hmm. Like ultimately as well, when it comes to like people's like jealousies or like no-nos in relationship, it boils down to insecurities, right?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
if your partner is aware of your insecurities, then it's they can make sure they don't do anything to break that trust.
true,
Yeah.
true. Next question. What was that? Right. So it's an offshoot, or I'd say an extension of the last question of cheating, which is basically what makes you fall out of love. Is there a process to it, or is there a moment which makes you think, or which makes you reconsider the other person's presence in your life? So what would be that?
Vish, do you
I
have
not
something for this?
I was just gonna say, like, regardless of like what we come to the final answer to this question to, just to throw it out there, like at the minute you realized it, no matter what causes it for you or how long it takes, just please do the decent thing and end it.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like cheating is like the lowest, like form of like I know I
Yeah.
said no judgment, but like how do you say? I just coming from a house of like bad like parent marriage, right? Just it's please end it. at that point. Like, don't cheat, just end it and then do whatever the fuck you want, because you're no longer cheating. You're just doing, you're just existing, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah,
And
like,
I would say, oh, do you have something else, Vish? Or
yeah, like, just, it's different for everyone what makes you fall out of love. I have no idea. It's just, man, don't cheat. That shit is,
yeah,
it it can fuck up other people.
True.
yeah.
True.
Uh, I think I have a very similar answer to this. Ki, I don't think there's. I think it could also be something like there's a moment for you which makes you reconsider the entire thing.
Right.
And you start reconsidering very questionable behaviors that you just let go because you really like that person. Then
True.
you were like, oh wait, this was not really that cool. मतलब ये तो अच्छा नहीं था, but I would just let it go क्योंकि you know मुझे I used to like them a lot, but
True.
now that I think about it, it's not. So it's just like a moment which might trigger something like this. But again, the way to get out of it is not to cheat or put the other person in a very uncertain place. Just end it,
True.
honestly. It's gonna save not you, but the person you're putting it through is gonna save them a lot of like emotional and mental peace.
True. Or else it just becomes toxic, right? It reflects on your real life.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not good to be in a place where you're in extreme like emotional uncertainty. And personally speaking, I've been through it uh, like for a very long time, and getting out of it is not very easy. You can't do it by yourself. You
True.
need to get some sort of professional help,
True.
because I was like, uh, since it's a public platform, I don't want to get into too many details, but I was like at one of the lowest points of my life because of being in an emotionally unstable place. And because Wish was there for me and I had a good support system around me, is
always,
why,
man.
Sushant was there for me.
yeah,
I have been
is
there.
why I am still here. And I'm
Yeah.
glad that I had a good
Yeah.
support system around me.
True. Seriously.
And
See,
even my page where people are so supportive,
Yes.
like regardless,
yeah.
like
I
even
have.
I've not been posting for 2 months and people like hit me up and they
Hmm.
ask you, oh, what's up? And
Yes.
that feels really good. You
Yeah.
have someone who can check up on you. And
Yes. That's true. Wish you were saying something. Wish I'm audible to you. I'm assuming Wish has unstable internet connection right now.
yeah,
You are audible.
right. Okay. No, what ending it does is really just help with closure.
Yeah.
That's all.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I get like, so I've often seen, or like, you know, some people I know have cheated because they were too afraid of ending it and hurting the other person. Hmm? But then they got caught anyways, and that hurt even more.
yeah,
So why, you realize either way you're gonna put both of yourselves through like unnecessary bullshit. Just
yeah,
end it, people get their closure, and you feel free to move on.
yeah.
True. She was saying something. I'm sorry, I interrupted you over there.
No. I'm just saying ki don't put people in like an uncertain place. If you know that the relationship has ended,
True.
don't
Hmm.
like if it's an on and off thing consensually, then by all means. But like don't make it uncertain, and like you said, don't cheat. It's just gonna make shit worse. Let people have their
Mm-hmm.
closure and just end it.
True. The worst thing that could happen out of a breakup is not getting closure, right? That's probably
Yeah,
the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah,
because that's what helps you move on, right? Like,
yeah,
if you
Hmm.
if you don't have closure, then it's just gonna be shittier and gonna take even longer for you to like cope.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. Like not having closure. The thing is, you also have to understand that the other person might not is not justified to give you any closure. If you get it, good for you. If you don't, you also have to like that part of understanding has to come
Hmm.
from your end.
True.
Even if I didn't get the closure, maybe it was not me, it was something which they did. And I personally feel like that's very difficult for a lot of people to accept that fact.
True.
Mhm.
I'm not going to get my closure anytime soon or ever.
Right.
And
Yeah.
how do I cope with that and move on?
Right. And there's always that one factor where some people move on earlier as compared to others, right? And you feel even
Mm.
more, how am I supposed to say this, dejected from the mere fact that they've moved on and you haven't. And it makes things worse.
Mhm.
And even for that, I would say it's not like a competition. It's not like a comparison. It's not a race,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
Everyone has their
No,
own
but
emotional pace and stability,
right,
and
like
you have to take your time with it.
I think we're diving into like post-breakup competition territory,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and but to those people, I'd say like if it was like a breakup, right, and say the other one has moved on earlier than you expected, right? Just at least you didn't get cheated on,
True.
like
God.
they didn't waste your time and whatnot. At the very least, if they ended it and then moved on,
Mm-hmm.
I'd
Hmm.
say
You
Yeah.
should be considered
take it
enough to,
exactly.
let that go. True.
Yeah.
True. Harsh, what would you like to add to that?
Yeah.
Huh?
द प्रॉपर आंसर इसका क्या रहेगा क्या कि प्यार एक टाइम चले ना चले, सामने वाले की रिस्पेक्ट टाइम तक रहनी चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर आदमी रिस्पेक्ट लूज कर देता है ना तो फिर और बुरा लगता है कि प्यार ठीक है, चलो हुआ नहीं हुआ ठीक है, पर अगर वो कुछ ऐसी हरकत कर दे कि रिस्पेक्ट भी लूज कर देता है वो, फिर तो उसके बाद दोस्ती छोड़ो, कुछ भी करने का मन नहीं करता उसका, ऐसा हो जाता है।
You just pretend that
और
वो तो
जैसे आप बात बोल रहे थे कि जल्दी प्रोसीजर हो तो ज्यादा अच्छा होता है, क्योंकि कभी कभी पीछे मुड़ के ना प्यार करना बुरा नहीं लगता, ये लगता है कि भाई टाइम पास बहुत हो गया, कि रिलेशन 6 महीने का था, 2 साल से मूव ऑन नहीं हो पाया उससे, तो वो बात बुरी लगती है ज्यादा।
True.
Yeah.
True. We've got just 1 minute here. तो थोड़ी बहुत बकचोदी कर लेते हैं because the conversation has gone so deep. Oh my God. Guys, this is a compliment. We have never been so calm throughout any conversation from the past 5 episodes. Seriously.
Yeah.
This has been
Thank you.
experience jahan pe we've been very calm. I am a very, how am I supposed to say this? A loud person, or most of the time.
Impatient.
Yes, impatient. Sorry, that's the right word.
Impatient.
Yes, I've been very impatient, and I, just want to say things out loud. But this time around, oh my God, this has been such an insightful conversation that I've been loving it. So big ups to
ग्रुप कट हो जाएगा, उससे पहले बोलते कि लिंक भेजते वापस।
yes.
वरना खत्म हो जा रहा है वो।
Yes, we've got 20 more minutes. We've got three to four more questions to go, and then we'll wrap up the shoot. It's been great till now.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Also,
Right.
appreciate.
So, right. So the question was, how does heartbreak or breakup helps in character development?
So as I had mentioned, you can take it in a positive way or a negative way.
True.
So, and I wouldn't blame you if you took it in the negative way as well. मतलब सबकी perception अपनी अपनी होती है.
True.
But you also have to understand कि your brain is controlling what you're doing. So your perception will reinforce that behavior in you. तुम कुछ negatively देखोगे तो you start seeing shit negatively only if you have that mindset. But if you have a positive mindset, if you learn from adversity or if you learn from the problems you have, you'll turn into a better person.
True.
And kabhi I will admit easy nahi hota ye karna. It's a very proactive effort that you have to take. So, matlab, so you have to push yourself कि भाई ऐसे नहीं करना है. I have to make it a positive learning experience for myself.
True.
So, and I feel like this is something from, like as I mentioned, ki over 5 years, I can see how much I've grown as a person. It's not an easy process. I'll tell you. It's something which is very, and I see it in a lot of people. Like now, when I sort of interact with people, or like you can tell ki there's something holding people back.
True.
And the biggest thing is there's something which I believe a lot is the zone of control. How much you can control in your life and how much you can't.
True.
And बहुत लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि if I change something which is out of my control, सब
Things will
कुछ
get
ठीक हो
better.
जाएगा.
Things will get better.
Exactly. मतलब अगर मैंने ये कर लिया, let's say if I like start doing this one thing, or if this one thing changes in life, सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा.
True.
It doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
True.
Because us as humans, we have the tendency to set a very unrealistic goal and just map our entire life around it.
True.
कि अगर ये हो गया, मतलब अगर like if my parents started behaving well towards me, I'll become a better person.
True.
Something like that.
Yeah.
मतलब अगर मेरे पास ज्यादा पैसे होंगे तो I'll be better. Something of that sort. But what I have started to learn over these 5 years is your approach and what you can control is very important. रोज ऐसे कह के नहीं बनता कि मतलब अरे मुझे तो सिक्स पैक चाहिए, and then just not doing anything about it
True.
is not going to give you six packs. You have to go to the gym yourself.
Right.
That is in your control. So this is something which also relates to breakup part. The breakup can happen for various factors. It could be in your control, it could be out of your control. It could be something related to your partner which you have nothing to do with.
Right.
You don't have to take it personally, which I have learned through trial and error, through the hard way, as you might say.
Yeah.
True.
But that builds your character, and that if you see that in a positive way, sometimes it just doesn't work out.
True.
And you have to become a better person out of this.
True.
And what you have to do in your control. Because I went through like something very bad in the past, and I had the option to either sulk about it, cry about it, or do something about it, which was in my control.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the most cliche part about the breakup, which absolutely works, is going to the gym and getting healthy.
True.
That is the best advice I would give anyone. Breakup हो गया तो gym जाओ, dedicate
Yes.
yourself to at least one thing in your life.
True.
कुछ नहीं होगा if you don't have, if you can't study, you can't do anything. Go to the gym and start getting control over your own body.
Right.
Because what happens is when you start getting control over things slowly and slowly, it will start reinforcing the fact that you are your own person.
Right.
You can build yourself.
Right.
Exactly.
You put your anger
Because what
somewhere,
happens,
channelize your anger.
it could not necessarily be anger itself. It could be a multitude of emotions.
Right.
You might feel sadness, you might feel anxiety,
Right.
all of that.
Right.
Now,
All the
and there's
negatives.
something exactly. So there's one thing I look up to Lewis Hamilton a lot, and he says one thing which always sticks with me. You have to channel every sort of emotion you get, any sort of negative emotion you get, you channel it into something positive.
Right.
तुम्हें कुछ भी feedback मिल रहा होगा तुम्हारे इस बात से, like
Right.
from your surroundings. How you work with it will define you as a person.
True.
And so even if nothing's working out for you, everything feels like the end.
Yeah.
My best tip after a breakup would be gym जाना शुरू करो. Run 5 kilometers a day for 20 minutes. दुखी नहीं रहोगे तुम. Like your lungs will thank you in a
and
bit.
listen to Huncho's playlist.
Yeah.
True. True.
Start enjoying life.
Yeah, seriously.
Start cherishing the small moments.
That matters a lot. I mean, gym is like one of the biggest, if not the biggest or most important things in my life right now. It has been that way since 6 years, past 6 years. If I don't work out even a single day, it feels like the day is gonna be shit. It's so gym helps a lot. I can completely relate to that. Then heartbreak, is very polarizing. Either you can become Satyendra from Shaadi Mein Zarur Bulana, or either you can become Kabir Singh from Kabir Singh, obviously. So it's on you.
Yeah. It's definitely on you how you take it and how you grow as a person, what sort of lessons you take.
True.
From not even just a breakup, any sort of conflict that happens in your life. कुछ भी होगा, मतलब किसी के साथ कुछ झगड़ा हो गया या कुछ like कुछ society में matter हो गया. How you handle it and if you can take something out of it for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
it will really help you grow as a person.
Yes.
Because over the 5 years, one very big takeaway I've had in life is you have to start communicating more.
Right.
Introvert रह के तुम्हारी जिंदगी में कुछ नहीं होने वाला.
कुछ नहीं होगा. Seriously, I mean, people
The
need
work
to
does
stop
not work like that.
romanticizing, staying in your own space and all of that, because it's the people outside who help you in order to grow yourself. That's very true.
बाहर जाना ही पड़ता है. हाँ.
Yes.
बाहर जाना ही पड़ता है. And the thing is, you can stay introverted. It's not something, but you don't have to like hard commit to it in
Yes,
life.
exactly.
कि मतलब कि मैं बाहर जाऊंगा, मैं किसी से बात नहीं करूंगा.
Mm-hmm.
That is never gonna take you far in life.
Right.
So if you're someone who's introverted like this, my top suggestion would be you start getting out of your comfort zone. तुम्हें
Yeah.
लगता है कि if you feel like someone might not talk to me or someone might not feel that good interacting with me, just go up, smile, shake their hand, say hi.
Yes.
That tends to work on a lot of people. Because people are social animals. They want to talk to someone.
Yes.
But that's the thing. सबको बात करनी है पर किसी को जाके initiate नहीं करना.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Become that person. Become the person who goes and initiates conversation.
Yes. Put yourself.
And that will take you very far in life. That
Yeah.
will take you very far in life.
That's very true. The gist of the entire
Because
matter is basically, you putting yourself out there and accepting the fact that you have to move away. You have to do better things, and acceptance. People say ignorance is a bliss, but no, acceptance is a bliss.
exactly, and you have that control in life. कि if you're someone who is not very sociable और कोई बात नहीं करता, मतलब तुम ज्यादा बात नहीं करते किसी से, that's something in control that you have. You can at least start approaching people. बात नहीं करेंगे तो ठीक है. You can accept that कि maybe it wasn't their mood to talk to you. But generally, from what I've seen, people at least try to have a small conversation because लोगों को बात करना बहुत पसंद होता है.
True.
Even if it might be the quietest person ever, who's never had a conversation with anyone around them, you try and go and talk to them. They will talk to you.
True.
And then you don't have to take it personally. You can be like, okay, I tried.
Yeah, exactly. At least you won't have
It's
the
fine.
regret of not trying. At least I tried.
Exactly. And don't ever be afraid to try anything.
Yeah.
Because when you start doing this, a lot of opportunities will open up to you.
True.
So don't always keep moving. Once you stagnate, once you stay at one point, it's done. You become comfortable, and that's something you don't want to be in life.
True. That's very true. Wow. Sahi जा रहा है यार conversation. My God, this has been great. In the last question, out of all the questions we've had, what is it? Let me see. हर्ष कहाँ गया तू?
मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था
अच्छा, तेरा एक question है.
ये हमने फर्स्ट पार्ट के अंदर हमने ये किया नहीं क्योंकि वो गर्ल्स का पार्ट था. सेकंड पार्ट के अंदर में ये क्वेश्चन रहेगा कि मतलब मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम ऐसा होता है ना कि हमको एक लड़की बहुत पसंद आती है, हाँ, और हमको लगता है कि उसके एक्शन से देख के लगता है कि यार वो भी अपने साथ है, बट अगर जब हम पूछने जाते हैं उसको तो वो रिजेक्ट कर देती है. तो वो फीलिंग भी बहुत काइंड ऑफ हर्ट होता है. मतलब ब्रेकअप हर्ट करता है, पर ये भी करता है कि तेरे एक्शंस रेसिप्रोकेट कर रहे थे, पर जब मैंने पूछा तुझे तब तूने मना कर दिया. तो काइंड ऑफ वो लड़कों को ऐसा फील होता है, बताया कि मतलब क्या था ये, कि भाई यूज कर रही थी, क्या था समझ नहीं आया, वैसा फीलिंग आ जाता है.
Right.
वो तो I can completely understand, and this also kind of relates to the dating apps conversation we had. कि like in my opinion, guys use dating apps for like as a confidence boost, I would say.
Yeah.
Like I've gotten women's perspectives on it as well. Most of them use it for validation.
Yeah, seriously.
कि मतलब अरे कितने लोग like कर रहे हैं. It's something like that, and it's not like a negative thing. I'm not saying in a negative manner. I mean,
it's nature. It's nature. Women will always be choosers. Men will always be chasers. It's that way. It has been that way since the day one, since the inception of humanity. Because women always have had abundance of options. On the other hand, men don't. Right.
Yeah. So, and as guys, you put a lot of self-esteem when you make a dating profile and like put yourself out there. And when you get rejected, it feels like shit. Like, I won't even lie, it feels like shit.
Yeah.
But again, it's not you. It's not always gonna be you.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe the other persons have got other interests. Maybe हो सकता है यार. There are n number of possibilities why this did not work out, but you just have to, accept it.
Exactly. And if it's something which happened on your end,
Yeah.
like your conversation wasn't engaging enough,
Mm-hmm.
so you can work on it.
Right.
So you have to see it in that way as well. Was it something which was in my control? If it wasn't, it's something, it's learning for you, which you can take ahead in life.
Right.
So again, it's always try to make something as a win-win situation.
Right.
Reject bhi ho gaye, so you learn something out of it. Ki, okay, maybe I should have had better conversation. And second, it's not because of me. Maybe she has something else to go with, something like that.
True. And moreover, I think there's another factor or another dimension to this is that, sorry, this is not a generalization if you're listening to this, but Indian guys aren't very exposed to the environment where they've had exposure to women conversation law. Or maybe we've gone to, co-ed schools, but it's just that guys don't try to talk to women a lot. There are like a lot of guys who do, but बहुत सारे नहीं करते हैं. And exposure से होता ही है कि तुम ना प्लेटोनिक चीजों को प्लेटोनिक सेंस में लेते हो. इफ यू नॉट एक्सपोज टू विमेन कॉन्वर्सेशन अ लॉट, या फिर तुम्हें ज्यादा कभी मिला नहीं है ये सब बात करने वगैरह को, तो यू डू टेंड टू टेक थिंग्स इन एन आई मीन इन अदर, how am I supposed to say this, non-platonic way. You think this is romantic. So
Could
that
you just pause for a second? I have to just open the door.
First of all, एक minute.
Yeah.
You have gone to co-ed school, not we.
This
You have
is
gone
said,
to
okay?
co-ed school. Okay. चलो.
हाँ.
Huncho, what do you think is the best way to move on from someone?
So again, like what जो मैंने बोला था about having that control. There is no best way. There is no textbook way कि मतलब ये करोगे तो move on हो ही जाएगा.
Right.
The first thing which also Vish had mentioned is closure. कि if you get closure, well and good.
Yes.
That helps you move on.
It helps.
95% of the time. ये तो closure मिल गया तो you can at least admit कि अगर उसने, like if you were told कि you want this or this, you can at least accept कि ठीक है, fine, it didn't work out because of these factors.
Right.
What makes it more complicated is when you do not get closure, because then you do not know what caused it, and that creates a lot of uncertainty.
True.
क्यों हुआ ये? Like, was it something I did, or was it something completely else which I don't know about?
True.
In that is a very difficult case, and that puts you in a very emotionally uncertain state where you don't know how to do. You will start overthinking a lot. For that, I would say
blaming yourself.
Exactly, because you have no idea कि problem ही क्या था, तुम्हें पता नहीं, तो तुम accept कैसे कर पाओगे, or like how will you even reject it, or how will you try to justify it to yourself कि this happened.
और closure नहीं आता ना, तो सबसे वो डार्केस्ट सीक्रेट होते हैं ना कि मतलब बेकार की चीज, मेरे में ये प्रॉब्लम होगी, वो प्रॉब्लम होगी, क्योंकि सामने वाले को पता भी नहीं था. हाँ, इनसिक्योरिटी वो टाइम पे बहुत ट्रिगर होती है.
Right.
It resurfaces your insecurities as a person, even though that might not be the case.
Yeah.
You will try to find a reason to justify what has happened, even though it might not be.
True.
In that case, you have to, as like stupid as it might sound, you have to give yourself that क्या बोलते हैं उसको, ये नहीं बोलते उसको, like you have to give yourself that like judgment कि ठीक है, so what, it didn't work out.
Right.
I have to accept it.
You have to cut yourself some slack, basically.
Exactly. कि so what if it didn't work out?
Yeah.
I tried my best.
तो क्या?
If you did,
Right.
if you tried your best, you can be like, I tried my best. It didn't work out from my. I tried my best. It didn't work out, and it can be very difficult. I'm not gonna admit कि बहुत easy होता है. It's something that will happen overnight.
Right.
It's not. And I will say there is no shame in asking for help, for either from a friend who's very close. If the friend is not helpful enough, asking for professional help, if it's getting that much to you.
True.
That's the biggest thing I've also taken from adversity, is asking for help. It's never बिकॉज लोगों को लगता है कि यार मैं अभी इसको हेल्प के लिए पूछूंगा, थोड़ा वियर्ड नहीं होगा, थोड़ा ऑकवर्ड नहीं होगा,
Right.
कि मतलब व्हाट विल दे थिंक ऑफ मी इफ आई एम आस्किंग फॉर स्टफ लाइक
Right.
दिस. It's don't feel like that. People are there to help you, and if someone's as close to you, they'll always make that time to help you out without any judgment.
Yes.
So in my case, Vish has been there for
Just
me, and I've been there for him,
Right.
like that. And don't be
just like
afraid
बाबूराव
to.
said कि खुशी बांटने से
बढ़ती है.
बाबूराव का डायलॉग है ना कि खुशी बांटने से बढ़ती है और गम बांटने से कम होता है.
Yes.
Exactly. That's the same logic here.
Yes.
Ki if you have someone, if you have a good support system around you, and I'm very glad that I've had friends who helped me through tough times,
True.
and I've been there for my friends during their tough times.
True.
And also that there is some stigma around asking for professional mental health help.
Yeah.
Hoga aise, if it's something you want to keep on the down low, you can go for it. There's no shame in it. You want yourself to be better.
Yes.
So what, like, लोगों को तो कहना है क्या लेंगे. It's not their health on the line.
Right.
It's yours.
Right.
कुछ भी कहने से क्या जाके थेरेपिस्ट से बात कर रहा है, करने देना. वो थोड़ी आके तेरे पैसे दे रहे हैं.
Right. सिग्मा मेल ग्राइंड सेट से बाहर निकलो भाई. हेल्प मांगो.
हाँ, it's like, yeah, and even with the grind thing and everything, ठीक है, it's like a joke, haha, funny, whatever. Don't live the meme.
Yeah, seriously.
Living a meme is not healthy for you.
It's just random people doing irony on the internet. You shouldn't be taking it in literal sense. Some people do take it, but you shouldn't.
सुबह 4 बजे उठ जाओ. क्या करूँ सुबह 4 बजे उठ के, वो तो बता.
मतलब if you're waking up at 4 a.m. and working, तो भी ठीक है, चलो, I can give you that.
तो सेंस बनता है ना.
Netflix and chill कर रहे हो, there's no point.
हाँ 4
But
बजे.
if you're 4 बजे उठ के तुम क्या मिसोजिनी कर रहे हो इंटरनेट पे किसी रैंडम इंसान के साथ, तो क्या पॉइंट है, तुम क्या उखाड़ रहे हो?
Seriously.
Is your life just equivalent to trolling people on the internet and not working on yourself?
Yes.
So people on the internet, like, don't take internet trolls very seriously. कुछ होगा नहीं तुम्हारा लाइफ में. और अगर सिग्मा ग्राइंड सेट फॉलो करना है तो टेक इट इन अ पॉजिटिव वे, कि 4 बजे उठ के काम करो, लाइक वर्कआउट करो, भागने जाओ, ऐसे कुछ करना है तो करो.
Yes.
न्यूज़पेपर दूध डाल के आओ, कुछ तो करो.
हाँ, मतलब ग्राइंड सेट करने तो जाओ, जाके न्यूज़पेपर डाल के आ जाओ, पैसा कमाओ,
सही है.
ट्यूशन दे दो बच्चों को, 10वीं के बच्चों को, ऐसा कुछ करो.
Yes. Work out, do something, help someone, get an internship maybe.
हाँ, like do anything that would help you.
पर इंटर्नशिप सुबह 4 बजे थोड़ी होती है.
I'm just stating, yeah, come on.
हाँ.
होगा, मतलब कोई होगी इंटर्नशिप, क्या पता, कुछ भी होगा. बट
हो सकता है यूएसए का हो, मतलब वहाँ 4 बजे वहाँ पे
यूएस शिफ्ट होगी, होगा कुछ.
हाँ, यूएस शिफ्ट में कर ले.
But that's the thing. Like, in conclusion, I would like to say कि as guys, it's difficult out there because you have a lot of insecurities on your own, which are very difficult to even bring up and think about. And you don't understand yourself well.
True.
तुम्हें खुद को पता नहीं होता कि why am I acting in this way.
True.
The more you understand yourself, and the more you try to make situations a win-win in a way they are beneficial to you and the other person as well, that is going to help you a lot in life.
True.
क्योंकि if you're selfish, then your people, सबको vibe पता चल जाती है. It's gonna come off you. If you are a very selfish, greedy person, people can tell that. तुम कितना भी sugar coat कर लो, तुम कितना भी like phony बनो, समझ में आ जाता है वो the type of person you are. So try to be genuine as you can, and always the underlying factor is you. कुछ भी होगा, anything's gonna happen, is gonna happen to you, and it's gonna happen because of you.
Yes.
There's a good saying कि you are always the center of the universe.
Yeah.
Take it in a positive way. Don't ऐसा भी मतलब narcissistic भी मत बनो कि मतलब किसी को भी नहीं देख रहे हो. Take it in a way where you keep yourself also in mind. You don't lose yourself in this entire life.
There's some sound coming on. Sorry. Yes. True. This has been great. I'm assuming that we're over all the questions now. right Harsh?
1 मिनट रुका ना, 1 मिनट, 1 मिनट।
क्या हो गया? अच्छा, fuck, wow. सी, देखो यार 21-22 साल के लड़के बता रहे हैं मूव मूव ऑन कैसे करें, ब्रेकअप की बात कैसे आगे बढ़े। तेरा आवाज नहीं आ रहा, म्यूटेड है, म्यूटेड है।
अच्छा 1 मिनट रुक, 1 मिनट रुक। मैं जाते जाते ये पॉइंट करना चाहता हूँ कि कुछ कुछ लोग होता है ना कि मूव ऑन करते टाइम हम दोस्तों से बात नहीं कर पाते, तो ऐसे टाइम पे ना इंटरनेट फ्रेंड्स बहुत काम आते हैं। अब
Yeah.
जैसे कि इंटरनेट फ्रेंड्स का ऐसा हो जाता है ना कि वो हमको जज नहीं कर पाएंगे, वो हमारे एरिया में नहीं रहते, कुछ नहीं रहते, तो मैं रैंडम इंटरनेट लोगों से बात कर सकता। आज के टाइम पे इतने सारे जीसीज ओपन हो चुके हैं कि उनसे बात कर सकते हैं। अब सुशांत मेरे साथ जीसी में हुआ करता था, और वो टाइम पे मैंने
We've
उससे
never seen
बात
each
चालू
other
की,
in
उसको
real
मैंने
life.
बताया कि भाई ऐसे ऐसे हुआ है, वी हैव नेवर मेट ईच अदर, आज हम पॉडकास्ट करते साथ में। तो ये हमारा वो टाइम पे वैसे ही हुआ था, मेरा सीन चालू था, तो सुशांत को मैंने मैसेज किया भाई ऐसे ऐसे करके, तो हमारी दोस्ती बॉन्डिंग वैसे हो गई। आज 6 महीने हो गए हमारी दोस्ती को, और हम पॉडकास्ट चालू कर रहे हैं साथ में।
Yeah, like that I can agree with totally. Internet friends are the best if you have good internet friends.
हम्म
Yeah.
That's I'm saying. If there's something,
हम्म
if it's someone you can take a positive takeaway from, if they're a positive influence on your life,
हम्म
their internet friends are the best to have. I've
Seriously.
had more like frank and formal conversations with my internet friends rather than a lot of my real friends.
हाँ,
True.
क्योंकि वो जज नहीं करेंगे ना, क्या जज करेंगे, मेरे घर पे आके तो कुछ करे नहीं, मिलेगा भी नहीं तुझे जिंदगी में मोस्ट प्रोबेबली।
True.
क्योंकि
वैसे
that's the underlying factor क्योंकि when real people like people in real life meet you, they see a version of you they've met the first time,
हम्म
and वो उनका base reference हो जाता है. So when you change and the person is not adaptable enough to see you change as a person, they start dragging you down to what you were,
True.
हम्म हम्म
and it might not necessarily be the version of person you want to be.
Right.
So
Okay.
in that sense, internet friends are going to be, if you have good internet friends, be there for them, they'll be there for you.
True.
और
Right.
इंटरनेट फ्रेंड बनाना इजी भी नहीं है आज के टाइम पे। कोई भी एक ग्रुप चैट ज्वाइन कर लो, आजकल कितने सारे होते हैं, तो वहां पे जाके बात कर ही सकते हो यूजुअली।
Yes, exactly. There's no one to judge them.
हाँ अभी तो I have my
हम्म
own group chat. I've made some of my best friends
हाँ
on my Huncho and
हम्म
Huncho GC. Great people I can have conversations with. I've met some of them as well. Great people.
Seriously, great. Wrapping this off, I'd like to thank Hancho for taking out his time and considering doing this episode with us, and at the same time Vish, who is not here, but he while he was here, he contributed greatly. And yeah, this has been great. This has been an eye-opening conversation, and I hope that this goes out to our listeners as well. They find value in our podcast, all listeners or viewers, whatever. So yeah, signing off. This is Sushant, and Harshmali, over to you.
वाली
Huncho.Nacho, who's about to post
बाय
hopefully
बाय।
soon again.